What is the main difference between an HR specialist and an HR generalist? And how do they work together? Well, in this lesson, we're going to go ahead and dive into that more. My name is Josh. I'm the founder of HR University. And this lesson is for anybody looking to understand the difference between these two roles so they can choose the right career path. But before we dive into all that, make sure to go ahead and subscribe to our channel. And that way you don't miss any of our lessons on how to become a great HR professional. Now let's go ahead and start. So first off, we have an HR specialist, and they specialize in the HR basics and processes. They're responsible for performing specialized HR tasks, ranging from recruitment to payroll management. And on the other hand, an HR generalist is an all-rounder who helps with all aspects of HR. And HR specialists are well-trained in employee satisfaction, recruitment, and other verticals as well. However, their day-to-day responsibilities include handling other human resource tasks like assisting the HR directors and managers with application scanning. And an HR generalist is more of a general human resources role. They're responsible for managing multiple HR functions at one time, like recruiting staff, screening and scanning applications, onboarding employees, maintaining employee records, and much more. Next, let's go into detail on the duties for each role here. So we'll start with the HR specialist. In the simplest terms, an HR specialist is responsible for looking after all day-to-day HR processes, such as screening, interviewing, recruiting, onboarding, and offboarding. As they specialize in HR fundamentals, they're responsible for tasks such as looking after employee compensation packages and benefiting strategies and benefits as well, keeping in view the company policies. In addition to these, they also work on maintaining a positive work environment. And HR specialists are also responsible to look after and handle employee training development programs. As a starting position, they prepare initial progress reports out of recruitment campaigns with detailed statistics and analytics and report them to senior HR professionals. With this data, they contribute towards developing effective performance improvement plans to enhance the efficiency of the respective HR operations. And as we know by now, an HR generalist is a bit different. They're responsible for assisting HR professionals in keeping the overall HR going. So the overall human resources operations department moving along. They fulfill a broad range of HR functions instead of focusing on just one task. And an HR generalist is also an entry-level role. They help with any HR tasks ranging from recruiting employees to handling data. And they screen job applications, they interview candidates, they onboard new employees, and assign workplaces. They also assist senior HR professionals in decision-making processes. And they play a significant role in the organization's professional development and ensure the employees' duties and work traits comply with organizational policies. So, do specialists and generalists work together? With both being entry-level roles, it's not unusual for their tasks to overlap. So, for example, an HR specialist will draft the strategies for a task. However, the HR generalist will implement those strategies and instructions. And this is how both these roles collaborate to carry out human resources programs. Next, let's take a look at the salaries of both roles. So according to Glassdoor, an average HR specialist earns $63,000 annually in the US. And this total salary entails a base salary of $43,000 per year and additional increments and bonuses of $20,000 per year in the US. And the most common salary range for a human resource specialist starts at $40,000 and ends at $105,000 annually. And on the other hand, an HR generalist earns $69,000 per year in the US, according to Glassdoor. And this figure includes $51,000 as a base salary and an additional $18,000 in increments and bonuses. However, in the US, a human resources generalist salary can fall between $42,000 and $117,000 per year. And although salary plays a critical part in your career path decision-making, there are other elements to consider. Now let's check the career paths for both roles. So the HR career path for both roles starts from an entry-level position and advances towards senior and executive HR roles. An HR specialist goes up to a senior HR specialist or an HR generalist. However, HR generalists promote to HR managers or assistant managers based on their technical, practical, and leadership competencies. This means that although there isn't a significant salary difference, generalists have better promotion options and sometimes serve as a mid-phase between a specialist and a more senior role. Now here's a complete career path for an HR specialist. So you first start off in that role and then you become a senior human resources specialist. And after that comes a human resources generalist, then human resources manager, and then sometimes an HR coordinator or a director of HR position. And the career path for a human resource generalist role starts with a human resource generalist. It progresses forward to the junior human resource manager, assistant HR manager, HR manager, and finally HR director. And both roles proceed toward the same executive roles. Each organization's original trajectory can differ based on its policies and promotion rules. And finally, regarding skills, HR generalists and specialists require solid analytical skills such as data analysis, performance reviewing, HR skills, legal knowledge, employee benefits, and attention to detail. And besides, they need strong verbal and nonverbal communication, cultural awareness, and commercial awareness, and accounting and budgeting experience. So accounting and budgeting may sound a little bit like a lot of details there, but you don't need to know it with all the granularity. Just a good overview will often do. Again, remember that as a specialist, you won't need all the skills depending on where you specialize too. And as for the generalist, you'll need a bit of everything, but you won't need to go into detail as much as a specialist. And there we have it. Those are the main differences between an HR specialist and an HR generalist. And thank you for sticking with us all the way through the end of this lesson. And if you enjoyed it and you feel like you have a better understanding of these two roles, make sure to go ahead and like the video, subscribe to our channel for more great content on how to become a great HR professional. And again, my name is Josh. I'm the founder of HR University, and I'll go ahead and see you on some of our following lessons. Cheers.